My name's Geeta and I'm the CEO and founder of London-based Nosh Detox Delivery Limited. And we're talking about one of my favorite topics, making one small change to get immense results. You know, for ages, my favorite saying was change is inevitable, suffering is optional. And it sounded really cute, but I always suffered because I hated change. Now, the thing I really hate about change is not that I don't know what it is and where it's coming from, because you just tell me what the change is going to be and I can make it and we'll all be cool. It doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work like that. And I've had enormous amounts of change in my life because I was a corporate lawyer and I ended up running my own business. I was trundling along happily and I had a child and he ended up in hospital for nearly a year, and I was married with kids and I ended up unmarried, still with kids. I was brought up in one way and I ended up having to pay all my bills, you know, which wasn't what was in my thing. I wasn't supposed to be doing that. I was supposed to go off and be good and get married and do it all the right way. Have you found that when you do things the right way, you always screw up? Because I have. I've make a living out of how much I've screwed up. And I learned something in all that time about change, which is that, you know, you would get to these and read The Secret and read all these amazing books on how you're going to change. And they would be like, right, you need to understand why it's there and pull it out of yourself and really get it. And then that's going to be fine. So, you know, I did that. I learned how to do that. I manifested, I created intentions, I wrote, I did all these things. And I would find, lo and behold, like I had a bloody PhD in the subject, the same thing would come up again and again and again. And I'm like, I thought we dealt with this crap. Why is it back again? And it would just, do you find that? Do you find that you have this thing and then it comes again and again and again? And you're like, I'm still making the same mistakes. It got to the stage where it's just embarrassing. I'm like, shouldn't I find a new mistake to make? Why do I keep making the same ones? And I learned something really, really interesting. I learned that when you're making a change, you can't change one aspect and then think that that's enough, because what actually happens is a human being is like a prism, you know, like a diamond, and what you've got is so many different facets to yourself, and you've got to actually look at each of those facets because they've all fed into the person you are as the personality you are. And when you change just one thing, it doesn't affect all the other things. That's why the stuff keeps coming back. So you've got to look at all of them in order for you to make that change. What do I mean? I mean, like if you look at me, I've got to change how I think about something as a woman. Fine. But then I will have that same thought as a mother because the woman created the mother. I will have that same thought in some way affected by the fact that I'm an Indian woman who had that thought. I will have the same fact that has been affected by the fact that how I grew up, and the fact that my parents were immigrants somewhere and that I'm an immigrant myself. That's affected who I am. Do you see what I'm saying? It also then becomes affected by the fact that I'm an entrepreneur and not by the fact that I'm working in a corporation anymore. So when you want to tackle anything in terms of changing, because we're all about change, we're all about how to make change, and no one ever actually tells you that in order for change to be complete, for change to be definite, for change to be long-lasting, for you to literally move from here to here and not go back. Change has to come on every single level of who you are as a person. So in order to do that, the way to make a change is to write down all the different roles that you play. And I'm talking about your sex, female, your cultural upbringing. Where did you come from? The fact that you're a mother or not a mother. The fact that you work or don't work. Are you a daughter or aren't you a daughter? Are you a sibling? I want you to write down all of the different roles. Are you a girlfriend, a wife? All of those things. And when you've written all of those things and you're trying to change, for example, the fact that I have a negative thought about my body. That negative thought about my body, like one of my clients came in and actually hates how she looks. And I keep looking at her thinking, I really don't get it. You're amazing. You're beautiful. You look great. You're literally a serious size 8/10. Where would you lose weight from? Your finger? And so what we've done is just to had her understand that self-loathing doesn't just come from how she eats. It comes from how she sees herself. So with her, I had her write down, she was the CEO of a company, she was a mother, she was a wife, she was a daughter, she was a sister, she was English. I'm trying to think what else we had her write. I think that was all of it. And then I had her look at what she didn't like about herself on every single one of the roles that she played. Now, when you write all of that down, it's the most interesting thing because you change from inside you. We're very multi-layered. We're not just one thing in one place. I can't just sit there and go, I'm going to look at what my food does and then it's all going to be fine. Well, we've tried that. Doesn't work. But if you want to make serious, long-lasting change, and I've changed from there to here, and I don't ever want to go back. I don't even think about it. That change comes, like with my client, where you go through all of those aspects. I wrote down everything about who I was in the terms of the roles I showed up as. And I made change on every one of those levels. And when I made that change, I never looked back for that thing. I found some other mistakes to make, of course, because then I go and look at those. So it is an evolution. Revolution. We should blow it all up, but it's an evolution. So if you found that interesting, please come and check us out. My name's Geeta, and we are all on www.noshdetox.com. I look forward to seeing you there.